We've got a major story developing right now. There's a political fight brewing in Washington, and it's threatening the food security of millions of Americans. We're talking about SNAP, the country's main food assistance program, and it is right at the center of a national funding crisis.
And I want to be really clear about the scale here. This isn't a small issue affecting a few thousand people. No. We are talking about millions. Millions of households that could be directly impacted by this.
You know, this isn't some far-off problem. This is an immediate crisis for families and communities all across the country. For millions of people, this political battle has incredibly real and, frankly, very urgent consequences.
So here's the bottom line. A system that so many people rely on just for basic food security is suddenly at risk. We're talking about access to vital assistance benefits, just gone.
Okay, so to really understand the gravity of this situation, we need to be on the same page. Let's take a quick step back. What exactly is SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program?
To put it simply, SNAP is the U.S. government's main program for food assistance. Its whole purpose is to help low-income families afford groceries and make sure they have access to basic nutrition. For a lot of folks, it is an absolutely essential lifeline.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Why is this all happening now? Well, the answer, unfortunately, comes down to a political standoff in Washington. Let's get into what's actually causing this. The immediate cause is a budget standoff in Congress that has, well, it's pretty much brought everything to a grinding halt. All the funding for the program is basically frozen, caught right in the middle of a legislative fight. So here's how it breaks down. On one side, you've got the sticking point, which is a fundamental disagreement over how much money should even be in the program. And the result of that disagreement? A complete legislative deadlock. Nothing moves, the money is just stuck.
But let's move beyond the politics and the legislative details for a second, because there is a very real and very immediate human cost to all of this. Let's look at the real-world impact this funding delay is having on people as we speak.
And here it is, the direct consequence. For families who depend on this help, this political fight translates into just this profound uncertainty. They're being left to wonder, literally, where their next meal is going to come from.
In fact, that uncertainty is just boiling over. You see this one single powerful question flooding social media feeds. It just captures the fear and desperation people are feeling. It's a direct plea. Who's going to feed us now? And this really highlights a major disconnect. Because while ordinary citizens are voicing these fundamental concerns about survival, the political response has pretty much been to point fingers and trade blame for the deadlock. The focus seems to be more on the fight itself, not on the fallout.
But this crisis isn't just a headline for today. Oh no, it has the potential to ripple outwards, to shape our political future in some really big ways. This is quickly becoming more than just a budget dispute. It's morphing into a key election issue.
And that's not just us saying it. Experts are already predicting that this exact standoff over food assistance could easily become one of the defining issues that voters carry with them to the polls in the next election.
So that leaves us with a really critical question to think about. When you have something as fundamental as food security on the line for millions of Americans, how will an issue this personal, this vital, ultimately end up shaping our entire political landscape? It's definitely something we're all going to be watching.